The composition of American citizenship. Spirit of American citizenship. Yet as I behold the sea of faces, I encounter no looks that are not kind and friendly. What is it that has wrought this miracle, possible today, as in no other time in history, possible here as in no other country, the round world over? Is it the reasonable and cheerful spirit of American citizenship? I want you to look with me for a moment at the great element from which the quality comes. Nobody can tell exactly, but nearly or quite 21 million immigrants have come to this country within living memory. If they were alive now, they would make their own against any power in the world. I'm not sure that they could not hold it against the powers of the worlds combined. What brought them across the sea? Undoubtedly, our great natural resources had something to do with it. But now he's speaking like North America is his resources, but he knows that he's pale-skinned European, and that's not American. It's just said 21 million immigrants, and all of them was Catholics. But now you're saying it's your resources in the North. No, it's the Aboriginal Indigenous, the people who was already here. Land and resources can't be bought, sold, or transferred because it's through the bloodline inheritance. But the natural resources of South America are as great as ours, and yet the immigrants do not go there. Because you try to go to South America with what you run in North America, and they know about land and inheritance, and they'll kill you for trying to colonize. It was not a community of religious faith that attracted them, but they was running from King James. The larger part of our immigration till very lately has been the contentious and devoted Catholics. See, you're immigrants too, so you saying that immigrants can't come to the country, but there's 21 million immigrants and most of them was Catholics. It was you, your ancestors, yet they came to a Protestant country. The one thing that brought men here, perhaps half unconsciously to themselves, is 3 or 4 little sentences Thomas Jefferson wrote and the fathers of the Republic signed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator. So therefore, there's no reason for no 13th or 14th Amendment U.S. citizenship. The 14th and 15th Amendment brought the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners who were at the time without power with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since the constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment for the salvation of our people and citizens. But this is Noble Drew Ali speaking. These was the ones that was here before the Europeans, before us, the immigrants, as they said. When an individual takes upon himself the oath of allegiance and is admitted a citizen of the United States, he is entitled to all the rights and privileges of the native-born citizens in any state which would conflict with his rights as given him by the law. You've never gave no oath of allegiance to be a U.S. citizen. You think you're a citizen just because you was born here, but you immigrated here, and you can't be cloaked with the rights of an Aboriginal Indigenous is who they're really speaking of. You can't have land rights like an Aboriginal Indigenous. You can't walk on someone's land and say, I have the same rights as you on this land. No, they inherited from their ancestors. You can't just colonize someone's land and start saying you're cloaked with the rights. You got to have an agreement from the people there, and U.S. citizen is immigrants. So that's not the Aboriginal Indigenous government there. You got to have permission from the Aboriginal and Indigenous government, and you never even gave an oath to be a U.S. citizen. The first nation to recognize United States was called the Moorish government, and the descendants of the Moroccans born in America are called Moorish Americans, all melanated people. And they hold the oldest religion alive. It's called Islamism, but it's not the modern Islam you see. They respect mother and hold her up to the highest. So yes, you don't even have citizenship. It's called being a stateless person. The war for the stateless persons. I have it up on a channel, you can go over it. They have their records, and it speaks of the stateless persons who don't have nationality. And it says that they'll be in a foreign country and be socially absorbed. That means the citizens can treat you any which way that they care to bestow upon you because you're seen as stateless. Again, you think you're a U.S. citizen, but you never gave no oath of allegiance. You think you're a citizen because you're born here, but being born here don't make you a citizen. You're tied to the land by bloodline, by heritage, and your heritage ties back over to Europe, whether it's England, London, Ireland, Austrian, Germany, Russia, Netherlands, all of that. But at the end of the day, we was all brought out of darkness into marvelous light by the Moors in regards to the Celtic nationality, or Irish, Cornish, or Kernal, Kentish, Scottish. We're only the modern term of that because we was brought out of darkness by the Moors, who gave us all the Celtic in regards to the study of the stars and astrology, the sun, which they was calling us pagans or whatever, but that's only non-Christian or non-Jew. But they took all that mysticism or studies and used it themselves for evil work. If someone knows when you're born and the time, they can use that against you. They know your emotions and everything. Celts and many nations. I want to talk chiefly of the contribution of one race to our mighty alchemy. I should get very quickly and very far beyond my depth if I were to undertake to trace the race which is known as Celtic to its origin in the heart of Asia. The true possessors of America, they call themselves Asiatic, and we're amalgamated because we have the blood in us. In regards to the uniting of Asia, we are who our ancestors were without doubt or contradiction. So if we're doing honorable deeds and being noble as Celtic, we're following our foremothers and forefathers. But we can have brothers who are straight evil and have no care or feeling of the paramount importance of knowing thyself. But it has entered into many great nations. It has kept its quality wonderfully wherever you find it. In whatever national life it has mingled. The Irishman in Ireland is by common consent the purest example of its existence today. The word Celt is said by some authors to mean warrior. By others it is said to mean woodsman or dweller in the woods. The Celt has entered, as I just said, into many great nations. Wherever he goes, he takes his quality with him. He is always the mint in the julep. It is a singular fact, but I believe now everywhere accepted that the composition of this country as found by the last census, leaving out the Asiatic, is made up just about the same racial elements in just about the same proportions that made up England in the time of Elizabeth, because all of you immigrated over here. When she began her great career of empire and glory, Ireland has kept under the providence of God the pure Celtic leaven be mingled with our mass also, but England changed your tongue and forced the church upon you, so you wasn't saying God. Even the Jesus in the Christian Bible said Elah, which is Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, Allah within. Of the 26 presidents of the United States, 15 were of England origin, and an origin which has the great mixture of the Celtic in it, like I said, amalgamated with the Moor. In 1, the Welshman, in 2, the Dutchman, in 3, the Scotsman, in 5, the Scotch-Irishman is predominant. If you're claiming to be English or England or Anglican and you're with the Christian church, you're not Celtic, because the true Celtic fought against the England church, forcing Christianity in the change of their tongue, their mother tongue, which was Moorish Latin, or they can call it Cornish or Kernal, or even the Golem or Gulum. You couldn't honor your foremothers and forefathers no more, not even their tongue or their religion.